Ladies of Hope Ministries, we have an epic vision to end poverty and incarceration of women and girls. And we do that through two pillars. One is direct service and sustainability, and the other is advocacy and engagement. And we know that we can't advocate for ourselves or anyone else unless our basic human rights are met first, which is access to safe and affordable housing. During my incarceration in federal prison, every woman that I met, whether it was in the county jail where I was being held in Pamunkey, Virginia, or in the federal prison that I was in Danbury, Connecticut, women didn't know where they would go when they came home. And God spoke to me and said I would create an organization that would do two things: create safe and affordable places for women to live, and create platforms for women to use their voice to share their story. Because for me, it was not about me being the voice for the voiceless. It was about women being able to use their own voice and share their own power as a mechanism of change, but also of healing. I began to meet women in the community who was doing work around women incarceration. And I was like, wow, this is really where I want to be, which is when I met Sarita. I was doing a conference at Columbia University as a part of my fellowship Beyond the Bars. And I created a series of symposiums called Real Women, Real Voices. And when I heard Sarita speak, I was like, oh my God, you have to be on this panel. That began us kind of working together, building relationship. And I needed a fiscal sponsor. I didn't know what a fiscal sponsor was. So I began to do my research, and I was talking to Sarita about it. And she was like, well, I have my 501c3. And I was like, oh, well, great. Would you be my fiscal sponsor? And she was like, absolutely. And so that allowed me to get my first grant in through that fiscal sponsorship. And I began to just build my organization out. Within the first year, I raised about $750,000. Once we became at a place that we could go and branch on our own, I applied for our own 501c3. We did. Sarita then invited me to be on her board. I proudly accepted. And we've worked also with Sarita specifically on our Epic Ambassadors program, which trained women on how to understanding the legislative process, 32 women in 16 states, and also how that they can draft their own legislation and write legislation that moves toward ending poverty and incarceration. Hope House, which is just our transitional housing program, which we have in Louisiana, New Orleans specifically, Prince George's County, Maryland, New York, and then we're scaling this year to Detroit, Michigan, and Miami, Florida. We also do rapid rehousing, where we're helping women who are actively fleeing domestic violence, and also people who are chronically homeless in all three of those states, and also, again, expanding there. Right now is a time where we need to come together. Our resources need to be put into community-based organizations that we know are doing the work. There is no time for scarcity or mentalities of such, that we have to support each other. This is the time. And so I just implore people to activate swiftly, because there are many of us, my organization included, that can be harmed by things that are happening within our society right now. And so it's going to take the people in order to continue to help us to do what we believe God has called us to do.